Emily from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Wednesday, June 14th. So today, the moon is in Taurus all day. There are 6 different aspects. All 6 of them involve the moon, which means that this is essentially a moon day. Now, considering the fact that Wednesdays are ruled over by Mercury, ruler of the mental plane and ruler of this Gemini season, already in his rulership in Gemini energy, this is definitely going to be a day where we have to focus on getting our heart, getting our head in alignment, in agreement with one another as we move into this accelerated time frame where we are going to make some positive changes. We're going to see an acceleration not only in circumstances but in the changing of events, and therefore we have to be right in our inner realm before we can engage in the external realm. So of course, with the moon in Taurus, things are low, things are slow. We're very present in our physical bodies. We're very much being encouraged to slow things down, to smell the roses, to be at peace in the present moment, and to really kind of focus on the silver linings. Now, of course, there's going to be a lot of distractions to kind of like pull your attention elsewhere, especially in the fear-based negative type of narrative. But the goal here today is to find peace, to really kind of get a grip over that mental narrative, to really align with the heart space, to stabilize and ground in our physical body and focus on what it is that we are being asked to create in our physical realms to provide ourselves with happiness, safety, security, and stability. So the moon right out of the gate is going to sit next to Jupiter. Jupiter, of course, the planet of growth, expansion, belief, abundance, and blessings in this Taurus energy, really showing us where over the course of the next year we have the ability to totally recreate our physical realms, creating new opportunities for happiness, for growth, for expansion, for stability, for prosperity, especially where money matters and relationships are concerned. The moon kind of interacting with Jupiter in this way is definitely going to push a lot of positivity, a lot of charisma, a lot of optimism. We are definitely fired up, hyped up in all the right ways. Jupiter being the hype girl of the zodiac, really kind of amplifying, magnifying, turn the volume all the way up on our physical realms, on our physical bodies, on being present, on really finding peace within every single moment, and really kind of strengthening the ability to nip that narrative, that negative ass narrative in the bud, and really kind of just settle into the emotions of the here and now and pluck out the silver linings in order to reassure for us that we are exactly where it is that we need to be and that we have the ability to provide that safety, security, and happiness within ourselves. The moon will then sextile beautiful energy with Saturn, who of course rules over karma, roles, responsibilities, structures, foundations, who is in Pisces energy. You'll always hear me talk about how I love Taurus energy and Pisces energy. Why is that? Pisces energy is our inspiration. It's our spirituality. It's our intuition. It is our karma. The Taurus energy is the earth energy that we manifest here in this physical realm. So there is this ability where, of course, Saturn being in Pisces energy, challenging our belief system, challenging our vision, challenging our dream, challenging our inner ability to find the peace in all kinds of different situations. Now, the moon sextiling with Saturn is a merging of energies, which means that we have a logical, practical understanding and viewpoint on what it is that we have to do in our physical realms to rearrange, reorganize, restructure our routines, our relationships, our money matters in order for us to feel as safe and secure as we could possibly feel. The moon in Taurus is going to get into the boxing ring, fight it out, square off with Venus, its ruler. Venus, of course, is in the heart and soul of the zodiac, being in Leo energy. The moon in this Taurus energy, we are going to find a little bit of conflict. Why is that? Well, because the fire energy that the Venus is in Leo energy is fired up, wants to take action, wants to make moves, wants to be out in the world, wants the spotlight on them. We don't want that in Taurus energy. The moon in Taurus wants things to be a little bit quiet, a little bit peaceful, a little bit still. So although Venus being in this Leo energy really wants to go out and have fun and be loud and be very, entertaining or be entertained, the moon in Taurus would prefer for us to kind of stick to ourselves, to be a little bit more introverted, to really kind of stay present in the here and now instead of bouncing all over the place like a pinball machine that, of course, Venus being in Leo is all about. So we are going to fight that out. We are going to have to find balance in between these two particular energies. And of course, that is is going to be very hard. This is one of the distractions that I spoke about earlier. We're really going to have to rein things in, really kind of execute the kind of power in our minds that we know that we have in order to stay present in the here and now. The moon in Taurus will semi-square, a little bit of a tension point with the sun in Gemini. This is going to be an overlap, realizing where it is that the moon, of course, representing the past in this Taurus energy, very focused on keeping things the same. It's a fixed energy. We want to kind of live in the rut in which we've created, even though it is a rut, even though we are praying for change. It's a fixed sign, so we're resistant to the change that even we want for ourselves. While, of course, the sun shining a bright light in Gemini energy, it's a mutable sign, so things are constantly changing. We are open to change, where the moon in Taurus, not so much. So this is the semi-square, this is the tension point, because part of us just wants to stay the course, stay the same, stay in this present moment, while the sun, of course, shining a bright light on what it is that we need to be doing in moving forward. And of course, in Gemini energy, that requires us to move out of our comfort zones that, of course, the moon in Taurus doesn't want us to do. The moon will then semi-square, again, another tension point with Neptune, who, of course, is in its place of power in Pisces energy. So again, normally Taurus energy, Pisces energy works very well together, because whatever ideas, whatever creativity, whatever insight we are downloading from the Neptune and Pisces energy, we're able to actually bring to life in some kind of way, in some kind of form, with the moon being in Taurus. But this is a semi-square, so there's a conflict here. The conflict is that Neptune being in Pisces energy, of course, is very, very sensitive, highly stimulated by subtle energies from the environment and people around us. And because there's a lot of emotion, because there's a lot of distractions, because we're kind of confused and all over the place, we don't know what it is that we actually want to do in moving forward. And sometimes that can come very overwhelming. We become detached, disassociated. We don't want to deal with the present moment. We don't want to deal with real life. While on the other hand, of course, we have the moon in Taurus, very focused on staying present, very focused on the here and now, very focused on creating as much happiness, as much peace, as much stability in this present moment as possible. And of course, there is no stability with that water energy that, of course, Neptune and Pisces is all about. So the last thing that we have going on here today is the moon in Taurus energy getting into the boxing ring, squaring off with Mars. Mars, of course, the god of war, ruling over our physical energy, our passions, our desire, even our anger. He is in Leo energy, the heart and soul of the zodiac. So really trying to muster up a brand new boldness, courage, bravery in order to kind of cut the cord with the past, really kind of move outside of this stagnancy that we've been sitting in, to take action, to make moves, to actually see some progress and productivity in moving forward. We want to move forward in a path that feels exciting, that feels passionate, that is actually awakening us up to new, let's say, desires. We are feeling a lot of intense things, but of course, Mars being in Leo energy wants to go out in the world, wants to be in the spotlight, wants to change things overnight. And the moon in Taurus, of course, wants no part in that. We want to stay to this present moment. We want to find the beauty in each and every moment in the here and now, instead of constantly thinking about the future and projecting ourselves on a path that we logically and practically haven't sorted out in our emotional space or in our mental plane. So this particular energy could definitely ruffle some feathers, bring up a lot of intense feels, especially where agitation, frustration, even maybe a little bit of anger is concerned, because we again are stunting out the Mars energy. Mars just wants to go out in the world, take action and make things happen and think about the consequences later. And there is no chance in hell at this particular point in time with the moon in Taurus that we are going to allow ourselves to just go out in the world and act without a plan, without a strategy. And of course, we don't even want to think about tomorrow, because we're only focused on creating the best version of ourselves, the best version of our reality in this present moment, in the here and now.